You ever wonder how a company, say in Vietnam, can prove its products meet safety standards in Europe? Or how you can possibly trust some new app with all your financial data? Well, the answer, a lot of the time, comes down to this powerful but kind of hidden process: global certification. So today we're going to pull back the curtain and see what a certification body like SIS Certifications actually does to build that trust we all rely on. All right, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll cover the basics. Who are these guys? Then we'll get into the whole world of standards they work with. After that, we'll see how it's not just about companies, but also about training people, which industries this all applies to. Spoiler alert, it's pretty much all of them. And finally, we'll look at their incredible global reach. So yeah, let's start at the very beginning. When we say a certification body, what in the world are we even talking about? Okay, think of a certification body as a totally neutral referee in the big game of international business, right? They're an independent third party. They come in, they look at how a company does things, and they verify that, yes, this company is playing by a specific, internationally agreed upon rulebook. It's all about that independent third-party verification. And you can see their mission here: inspiring progress, defining the future, kind of points to a bigger goal. It's telling us that these certifications aren't just about ticking a box or getting a rubber stamp. The real idea is to give a business a framework to genuinely get better, whether that's making higher quality stuff or having a more sustainable way of growing. But here's a crucial question. Who certifies the certifiers? You can't just set up shop and declare yourself an expert, right? You have to be accredited by even higher, internationally recognized authorities. For SIS, that authority comes from groups like the International Accreditation Service, the IAS, and the United Accreditation Foundation, or UAF. It's this whole system of checks and balances that gives their certifications real weight around the world. Okay, so now that we know they're legit, let's look at the heart of what they do: management systems certification. This is the bread and butter, what most businesses are coming to them for. Which, of course, leads you to ask, if they're certifying companies against these standards, what are these standards exactly? And wow, the range is huge. It covers just about every part of a modern business. You've got your quality management, which is all about making sure a product or service is consistent and reliable. You've got standards for environmental management, for keeping workers safe, for food safety. And hey, check this out. They're even looking to the future with a brand new standard for managing artificial intelligence responsibly. And this is a perfect way to see how different these standards can be. On one hand, you have ISO 9001 for quality. That's all about the customer, making sure they're happy and the service is reliable. But on the other hand, ISO 14001 for the environment is focused outward. It's a whole framework for a company to manage and shrink its environmental footprint. So you see, two standards, two totally different goals. But, their work doesn't stop with these big foundational systems. They've also moved into some of the most critical areas of business today. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? Empowering digital trust. I mean, in a world that runs on data, being able to prove you can be trusted with sensitive information isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's absolutely essential. And that means they offer these super specialized certifications for handling digital data. Take PCI DSS. That's the one for the payment card industry. If you handle credit card info, you have to have it. Or a HIPAA in the US, which is all about protecting patient health data. These aren't just suggestions. For a lot of companies, they're literally the ticket to even being in business. And here's another cool layer to what they do. It's not just about certifying entire companies. They also focus on training the actual people who make those systems run. So they've laid out this really clear career path. An employee might start out by getting trained as an internal auditor just to check their own company's systems. From there, maybe they become a lead implementer, an expert who can actually build these systems from scratch. And the top of the mountain is becoming a lead auditor, someone who is qualified to go out and certify other companies. Pretty cool. Okay, so this brings us to a really big question. Who is all this for? I mean, what kinds of businesses are actually going through all the trouble to get certified? Well, look at this list. The diversity is just amazing. I mean, you'd expect to see super regulated fields like defense and pharma, right? Where safety is everything. But it goes everywhere, from a shipping company's logistics to a bank's data security to the food safety at a hotel. It just goes to show you that this idea of standardized trust is a universal need in business today. And this statement really just hammers that point home. The basic ideas of quality or security or environmental care, they're universal. even if how you apply them looks a little different from one industry to the next.
All right, for our last section, let's zoom all the way out and just take in the sheer scale of their operations. How far does their influence actually go?
This number right here, 50 plus, really tells the whole story. Over 50 countries. What that means is a business in, say, Brazil can use their certification to prove its quality to a partner over in Germany. This isn't just some regional group, they're a key part of the plumbing of global trade. And you can see their physical presence totally reflects that. They've got auditors and partners across Asia, the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. They've built a network that really does span all of the major economic regions of the globe. What a network like this really lets them do is pretty powerful. They can offer a single, globally recognized standard, but have it delivered by local experts who actually get the culture and the specific rules of their region. It's that perfect mix of global standard, local expertise. And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. As our world gets more complicated, as supply chains get longer, and our digital lives get deeper, are these kinds of universal, verifiable standards becoming the most basic language of business trust? Definitely something to think about.